Hi guys, today is May 8th today. I got to read a couple things to you. So we've all been waiting on this second Passover sacrifice to happen. Well, this was on Breaking Israel News, just came out. It says second Passover reenactment canceled. Protest held against possible secret deal, banishing Jews from Temple Mount. Speak to Yisrael, saying, when any of you or your posterity who are defiled by a corpse or are on a long journey would offer a Pesach, they shall offer it in the second month on the 14th day of the month at twilight. They shall eat it with unleavened bread at bitter herbs. Numbers 9:10. While Muslims have free and exclusive access to the Temple Mount, a second attempt to hold a reenactment of the holiest temple service of the year was canceled. As health ministry restrictions kept many from relating to their biblical roots, police hampered a small gathering protesting a possible secret deal made by the Israeli government that will exclude Jews from their holiest site. For the last 10 years, the Sanhedrin has overseen reenactments of the Korban Pesach, the most important sacrifice that was brought in the temple. This year, despite receiving all the permits required, the ceremony was not allowed to take place due to health ministry regulations restricting public gatherings. The Sanhedrin requests that a small ceremony of 10 Jewish men of priestly descent to be permitted to take place at the biblically appointed time on the Temple Mount, but this request was denied. But the Sanhedrin did not despair, and the Torah makes provisions for just such a difficulty with the institution of Pesach Sheni, the day on which Jews who were unable to bring the Passover offering on the 14th of Nisan would bring their Passover lamb 1 month later. I don't know, I think my page... Okay, 1 month later on May 7th, all necessary government permits were received and practical arrangements made to hold the Korban Pesach reenactment place on the Mount of Olives on the eve of the 13th of IR7. But at the last minute, they canceled it. Okay, so what happened is, anyways, it was canceled. So I will put this in my link. All right. Now, remember how I said that the abomination that makes desolate we'd be leaving? Okay. Well, here's the thing. Habakkuk 2:3 still talks about, though the vision, the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it will not lie, it shall surely come, and it will not tarry. Okay, well, before I get into this, I'm going to read you this other thing that says, High Court orders Netanyahu to reveal if he made a secret deal with Jordan over the Temple Mount. Okay, a spirit carried me into the inner court, and lo, the presence of Hashem filled the temple. Ezekiel 43:5. Following emergency request to allow Jewish access to the Temple Mount, Israeli Supreme Court Justice Daphna Barak ordered the legislative branch of the government to respond to a petition filed by Temple Mount activists. According to the appellants, Arnon Segal and Yehuda Etzion, a closed-door agreement was made between Israel and Jordan to close the Temple Mount to Jewish pilgrims. Okay, Segal and Etzion claimed that Prime Minister Netanyahu engaged in secret negotiations with Ammon and agreed to close the holy site to both Jews and Arabs during the coronavirus crisis. But during this time, Muslims were still not allowed in the Temple Mount complex. Okay, and it is illegal, even if there was an agreement, allowing the Jordanian staff on the Mount during the lockdown is also illegal. So I think the time has come that Prime Minister of Israel clarifies if there is an agreement and under the guise of the coronavirus crisis, if there is a protocol to ban Jews from entering the Temple Mount, and if there is indeed such an agreement, it is illegal. Okay, and then I'm going to read you one last thing here, and then I'm going to explain to you why I'm reading this. Okay, it is for the reason that the Sanhedrin, listen to this, is calling for an organization of the 70 nations to resolve these conflicts, something the United Nations is only making worse by attaching itself to the anti-God agendas. It is for this reason that the Sanhedrin is pushing for the reestablishment of the biblically mandated temple service. It is for this reason that the Sanhedrin is calling on one world leaders to represent their nation in the return to Zion. Now I'm going to read you. Brother John Boucher and I have been on the phone for over 2 hours yesterday, and we've been studying. Okay, and I know a lot of people don't agree with Mike from Around the World or anything, but Mike from Around the World, Gil Brazard, Stephen Ben Noon, Paul Bagley, I've been listening to, their stuff that, and we've been trying to figure stuff out. Okay, so I'm going to give you something. On May 13th, that is when the unity government will form. Okay, and Rabbi Kaduri's prophecy has said that the following Sabbath, after they form a government, that the Messiah will be revealed. Okay, if that be the case, we already know that we're going to be leaving. Okay, the 14th is the global pact. Okay, now what these Sanhedrin have been saying is that they need to call on the one world leaders, and that's exactly what's happening on the 14th, is the one world leaders coming together for this global pact. Could it be that they sign that? You know what I mean? Because this is what they've been wanting in order to usher in their Messiah. Well, so there is a planetary object that is legit coming into our solar system on March 28th of 2021. Okay, and this isn't just a little planet. This is one that's going to block out the sun and the moon, and it's going to be total darkness, and it's going to be in daylight. Okay, so I'm going to give you these from Mother's Day, which is tomorrow or Sunday. If you add 40 weeks, it leads you to Valentine's Day. Okay, if you take 3 days later, okay, if you go from March 28th, 29th, and you subtract 40 days, it leads you to February 17th, and that's the exact day that they said that this planet is going to be visible with the naked eye. Okay, and this is going to be the thing that changes the world, and I believe, you know what I mean, because this is the only time that the moon will be under Virgo's feet, the full moon, and there's no other time that it's going to happen for 93 years. Now, I'm not getting into explanation of this, as we've decided we're probably going to be doing a video together talking more about this. And if you take from May 12th and add 40 days, it leads you to June 21st, which is Father's Day, and it's also the summer eclipse. Okay, if you take May 13th and add 40 days, or 40 weeks like that of a pregnancy, it leads you to February 17th. Okay, and then from February 17th plus 40 days leads you to Passover. Okay, only we know that the Passover is not going to be able to happen because this planet is coming in to visibility, okay, which very well could be this wormwood that it's been spoken of in the Bible. Now, like I said, I'm not going to get into too much detail, as a lot of people don't even understand what I'm talking about. But all these dates leading up to something big, and I know we are getting ready to get out of here. We've got all the different comets and stuff that's happening, and last night I personally seen it. It was an unscheduled blood red moon, and I'm going to be posting the video of it. It was over in Texas, and at the same time I was on the phone with a friend from Texas while all this was going on, and then I took pictures, and it was red, and then it turned bright orange, and then from that it turned white. Okay, and it's the last supermoon of this year. Okay, and I believe it's also the last warning, because 40 days from now is June 18th area, 3 days before Father's Day. So, and 2 days before summer begins. So, pray over this as always, and I hope this finds this encouraging, and I'll be back with more information. God bless.
This is a blood moon. I was looking for the moon. I didn't see it. It's really, really low, but it's orange and red. This is a blood moon. I didn't expect a blood moon. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's unbelievable looking.